Hello, I'm Mark Price. I'd like to talk to you today about staying focused. There was a lawyer and a pope. Both died on the very same day. And they're up in heaven and meeting with St. Peter, and St. Peter's walking them around heaven to show them where they're going to live, and takes the pope to this small little apartment, this small little place. There's one small cot, kind of a bed in it, a little table, and that's about it. And then he takes the lawyer to this huge palatial estate, a mansion. And the lawyer asks Peter, I don't get it. Why does the Pope get a small little room and I get this palatial mansion? And Peter says, well, we actually have a lot of popes up here, but you're our first lawyer. I hope that's not true, but maybe. The gospel reading today is from John chapter 21, verses 20 to 25. I'm not going to read it, but I encourage you to read it. The chapter and verse are at the lower part of your screen. It's a good short reading, and I encourage you to read it. Also read the first reading of the day, which is from Acts. It talks about Paul being under house arrest in Rome. And they're basically doing to Paul the exact same thing that they did to Jesus, where the Jewish leadership brought him before Rome for trial, before the Roman government, and they said there's nothing wrong. We find no sin. We find no criminal offense. And they want to release him, but the Jewish leadership kept arguing, no, you have to, we want this guy gone. You have to file something on him. So Paul claims his right to go to Rome and be heard there before Caesar. So he's in Rome now. Rome's already found nothing wrong, but the Jewish leadership won't lay off. Exactly what they did to Jesus. Rome, Pilate found nothing wrong, but the Jewish leadership said, no, we want this guy gone. And that's what's happening to Paul. So the first reading from Acts is worth your reading also. But the gospel today is what I'm going to focus on. It's an interesting story. It happens just after the reading from yesterday, where Peter and Jesus had their little exchange where Peter is asked by Jesus, you love me? And he says yes 3 times. And then Jesus says, well, feed my lambs, feed my sheep, tend my sheep. So this is just after that. And Peter is walking with Jesus. And Peter looks over his shoulder and sees John, the other apostle John, following them. And Peter says, what's this with John following us? And what does Jesus say to Peter? He says, quit focusing on John. Focus on the things that I've given you to focus on. Now, we don't know if it was curiosity that made Peter ask about John, or if it was envy, for example, the closeness perhaps between Jesus and John. We don't know really what it was, but we do know that Jesus said, don't worry about John. You worry about the things I've given you. You worry about the things I've called you to do. I just got done telling you, if you truly love me as you said you did, then you need to tend my sheep and feed my lambs and feed my sheep. You should be focusing on that, not John. I also told you to go and make disciples. You should be focusing on that and not worrying about what other people are doing. You see, the world calls us to worry about other people, to always be focused on something outside of ourselves. That's why, by the way, so many marriages and so many relationships are destroyed in the world today, because the world keeps telling people there's something better. Look for something better. You're in a relationship and one or the other says, well, I want somebody who's better looking or better this or better than that, better that. The world keeps saying the grass is greener. God keeps saying, be happy with what I give you. And the way you stay happy is by keeping your focus on me. Keep your focus on me. The world thrives from division and derision. That's why there is so much uneasiness that exists in the world today. It's because the world never lets you rest or be happy. They're always trying to get you at each other, at each other's throats, looking at each other. Why does he have this and I don't? Why do they have that and I don't? God is saying to us, and the teachings of Jesus are saying to us, focus on me and you will find true happiness, true joy, true peace. This is where it is. And Jesus is saying to Peter, stop looking elsewhere. Keep your focus on me. I think with all the riots and things that are going on, not just in the United States, but all over the world, what is needed is a revival. a revival of people being brought back into faith. We need a paradigm shift. We need to create in our world a new focus or a refocus on what really is important. There's a saying that goes, true happiness comes from wanting what you have, not having what you want. If we keep doing what the world says, which is saying, okay, always look for something better, bigger house, better neighborhood, better spouse, better partner, better relationship, whatever, we're never happy, we're never content. That's what the world, again, it thrives on division and derision. By keeping us at odds with each other, the leaders in the world, they survive, because when we're fighting with each other, we're not looking at them. So God is saying, don't worry about them, don't worry about what's happening around you, focus on me, focus on what I've called you to do. And so I think a revival is something we could really use to get us refocused on the things of God, the things that Jesus came to this world and died for. Let us get our focus, our head on straight. Let's change what a friend of mine used to call stinking thinking. And let's get our head aligned with the message of Christ. Amen? And by the way, I don't think when we get to heaven that we're going to be too worried about the house that this person has or that person has. I think once we get there and we're in that place for eternity with God, we're going to be happy with whatever we're given. Amen? This is Mark Price. Thanks for listening.